One item in the governor's proposed budget making the smell of cannabis probable cause for police to order a drug test while driving.
Dan Gross heard from both a legal expert and the Office of Cannabis Management about this proposed change. Dan joins us in the studio. Dan, what are they telling you?
Adam, Teresa, in short, that legal expert I spoke to says that this proposed change raises constitutional questions, while OCM saying in a statement that they want to address the balance of having legal marijuana but cutting down on drug driving. As part of the governor's proposed budget, one cannabis-related item is raising some eyebrows. In the budget, it is proposed that the odor of marijuana could trigger probable cause for a police officer if the suspect is driving, meaning the officer could order a drug test or search the car based on that odor alone. Matt Winchell is an associate attorney with Tully Rinke. He says it's illegal to smoke and drive like it is to drink and drive, but using odor might not pass the legal smell test.
You know, a cop can go up to the side of the car and say, "Oh, I smell marijuana, please step out of the vehicle." And now it seems like they're trying to get a court order for somebody to take a drug test. That seems to have some serious constitutional issues with it.
Winchell also says this is part of a broader series of changes from the state directed at changing discovery law, essentially how evidence is admitted in court, to be more favorable towards law enforcement. Now, this proposed change would override a 2021 ruling that was repealed when the state signed the Marijuana Regulation and Taxation Act, the same act which created the Office of Cannabis Management. In regards to this, OCM said in a statement, quote, "New York has taken significant steps to move away from outdated enforcement practices that disproportionately harmed communities of color, and we are working to make sure that we can combat drug driving without undermining this progress." Winchell said this if he were retained by a client to argue it in court.
I would definitely make arguments that it's an unconstitutional violation of my client's rights, that they were, arbitrarily forced into taking a drug test, because that's not going to tell you whether or not he or she was smoking in the car.
Winchell went on to say there that some of these tests can indicate if someone had smoked marijuana within the past 45 days. As our Capitol correspondent said earlier, the final budget is due April 1st. Reporting, Dan Gross, News 8.